7 deadly military jobs in history. 1. Submariner, World War II. Diving deep miles and miles in the deep ocean is terrifying, but submariners during the Second World War had to take this risk. Despite they weren't in the fully developed stage, submarines were widely used in battles of the Second World War. The potency of accidents, technical errors, and limited space made submariners' occupation extremely risky, putting their lives constantly in threat. Research indicates that during the Hitler's Long War, roughly 41,000 German men served on submarines, and more than half of them lost their lives. 2. Trench runner, World War I. During the First World War, physically fit young men were taken as trench runners. Their duty was to carry messages from one trench to the other. However, this was not as easy as it sounds. It was an extremely threatening job because they had to walk hours carrying messages throughout the battlefield. They were the source of communication during the Great War. When a battalion needed to get a message out, it was the trench runner's duty to perform it. They became immediate targets during the war, and most of them had to pay the price with their lives. 3. Tin opener, World War I. Naval warfare during the First World War was intense on both sides. Therefore, they used men known as tin openers to secure submarines from enemy interests. Submarines during the First World War used several secret codes and chippers as encryption codes. Tin openers' duty was to decrypt them. They had to go deep into the sea to perform this task. Unfortunately, most of them never came back except for a handful. 4. Greek fire operator, Byzantine era. These ancient flamethrowers were a part of warfare, mostly naval ones during the Byzantine era. Greek fire operators had to handle highly flammable and deadly weapons to defend the Arab hordes. The composition of Greek fire is extremely high, throwing the flames 100 feet and can destroy a lot in one take. Luckily, how Greeks made and operated these machines remains mysterious. Thus, recreating them is not a possibility. 5. Merchant mariner, World War II. During World War II, the American merchant mariners played a crucial role in transporting vital supplies, troops, and equipment across treacherous waters. They had to put their lives in constant danger to do their job, because they had to sail in waters full of enemy German U-boats. The chances of surviving as a merchant mariner were slim. However, some did, but rather than recognizing their bravery, the federal government denied them. 6. Siege sapper, medieval times. In the medieval era, warfare was done by sieges or military blockades. Siege sappers were in charge of digging tunnels beneath the enemy's walls or towers to collapse them. These tunnels are long, dark, and deep, thus digging them requires plenty of physical endurance. Moreover, it comes with many risks, including collapses, suffocation, physical strain, and on top of everything, attacks from their enemies. Siege sappers had to be extremely skillful with their work, because if they miscalculated the depths of tunnels, or if their timber support beams weren't placed perfectly, it could lead to the collapse of the tunnel, causing their own death. 7. Coup counter, American Indian War. This is an act that comes with great prestige and honor, but it is terrifying. It involves engaging in dangerous tasks. For example, meeting the enemy face to face and touching them with a coup stick or weapon, and then escaping unharmed. If they get touched by the coup, it is considered as a dishonor and embarrassment. This was a battle tactic, often used in the context of American Indian Wars. Several soldiers were killed due to the threatening nature of this act, and for centuries it remained as key part of plains warfare. What was the most deadliest military job?